So there are a number of other techniques that legacy solutions tend to use. For example, we see things like SMS heartbeats, where a pingable SMS is sent to the user's number on a schedule. If it stops being delivered, then it will trigger a potential SIM swap alert. This is noisy because deliverability can fail for a number of non-malicious reasons. For example, if the device is out of coverage, maybe they're roaming somewhere in a foreign country, and there could be delays at the carrier side. So these can fail for a number of malicious reasons, and they can often also be very expensive because they're making a lot of SMS message requests within a short period of time. Some organizations also rely on things like user self-reporting. So, for example, the user notices that they have no service on their cellular connection, and they'll contact their IT team. Obviously, this can be slow, unreliable, and often it's reported like a long time after the damage is already done. And some organizations might use an MDM for this. So they might look at, is the SIM still present on the device? That's surface level. They'll tell you if a SIM is still physically present, but not necessarily if it's tied to the same phone number or whether the IMSI was swapped to the carrier. So really, that's not a really good mechanism for detecting SIM swap. So these approaches can fail for a number of reasons. Like as I mentioned, they can confuse does the device still have a SIM card, rather than does the person still have that line? Does this person still own that phone number? So a SIM swap will leave the original SIM or eSIM physically intact, and that might also get a new number, and it might still have a connection, but the number has already been swapped and the line is no longer assigned to that SIM card. So again, that's not a good way of detecting a SIM swap, just looking for the presence of a SIM card or the presence of a connection to a SIM card. Some of these other approaches can generate alert fatigue as well. So for example, as I mentioned earlier with heartbeats, if the device goes out of network for a while or out of signal range, they can fire very frequently. And what you'll get there is alert fatigue, where a SOC will tune them out because they've seen that alert so many times. So then your real true positive is buried under a lot of false positive noise, which is less than ideal. A lot of these approaches also, or some of these approaches, also depend on the user being conscious of what's happening. And again, the whole point of a quiet SIM swap is to act before the user notices. So our detection doesn't really require the user to notice that they've lost connection or that the SIM swap has taken place. We are generating that alert based on the signals and the telemetry that we can see from the device. And a lot of these other approaches don't actually check with the carrier, which is the real true source of truth. It's the only one with the authoritative knowledge of whether a swap has happened or not. So really, like I mentioned, you really need to combine a lot of different signals to look at what a fingerprint of a SIM swap looks like from a device telemetry perspective, and then do that double check with the carrier before you alert the user.